I want to, first of all, express my gratitude to the Greenberg family for establishing this Greenberg Scholar Weekend that enables us to continue to bring learning. I don't know if Naomi is here, Naomi Greenberg. Yes, so we welcome you, a granddaughter. On behalf of your family, we're so grateful to your family for the opportunity to continue to bring learning and scholarship that was so important to your ancestors, to those who came before you. I will introduce our scholars. You've heard them lead Psukei Zimra and Shachrit and Rabbi, actually, let me begin. Cantor Benji Schiller serves as Professor Emerita of Cantorial Arts at the Hebrew Union College, Jewish Institute of Religion, Debbie Friedman School of Sacred Music, and as Cantor Emerita of Bet Am Shalom Synagogue in White Plains, New York. A World Fulfilled, a solo recording of her compositions, was released in 2002. A collection of her synagogue compositions, Azamra, Songs of Benji Ellen Schiller, was published in 2019. Her compositions include Hallelujah, a multi-rhythmic setting of Psalm 150, Lamdeni, Ukratem Dror, Proclaim Liberty, and an American Jewish response to 9/11, and various commissioned works for choirs, synagogues, and life cycle ceremonies. In 2019, Cantor Schiller received the Hallel V'Zimra Award from the Jewish Choral Foundation for her compositions of Jewish choral music. She served on the faculty of the Institute for Jewish Spirituality, Rabbinic and Cantorial Programs, and the North American Jewish Choral Festival. Rabbi Lester Bronstein served as rabbi of Beit Am Shalom Synagogue in White Plains, New York for 35 years until his retirement in 2024, Mazel Tov. He and his wife, Cantor Schiller, fostered a community based on serious, joyous Jewish spirituality, intellectuality, and public service. His writings appear in numerous books and periodicals. Rabbi Bronstein was president of the New York Board of Rabbis, co-chair of Trua, a rabbinic response to human rights, national chair of the JFNA rabbinic chapter, and president of Westchester Board of Rabbis, and now teaches rabbinical and cantorial students at the Hebrew Union College in New York. Remains active in interfaith and interracial dialogue and advocacy for Israel and the North American Jewish community. Continues to study with his four-movement group of rabbis who began to learn together in 1994, and he spends several weeks each summer at the Shalom Hartman Institute in Jerusalem, where I have had the pleasure of doing some chavruta study with him. And Les and Benji have 3 grown children and 3 grandchildren, and they live in White Plains, New York, and have not yet moved to Durham, North Carolina. All of those professional things are true, and we are grateful for the Torah that they will share with us and the tefillah that they have already shared with us. But that's not why you bring somebody to do your installation as a rabbi. You bring somebody to do your rabbinic installation because they are the voice that you hear in your head, the voice of Torah. They are the voice of spirit. They're the voice of prayer and song that Rabbi Posner grew with. And the rabbis say that to teach someone Torah is to, in a way, become their parent, their guide in our tradition. And so it is so fitting, for so many reasons, to invite Rabbi Bronstein and Cantor Schiller to come forward, to offer us words of Torah, and to install Rabbi Posner as our associate rabbi.
Oh, hello to Rabbi Daniel Graber, hello to Rav Rachel Posner, Kvod Zecher Rav Steve Sager, my wonderful and wise old friend and colleague. Kvod Rachel's beautiful family, Jonathan, Hannah, Talia. Did you hear that training? Good training. Right from us. And Aunt Athene, and God willing, your parents watching on live stream, couldn't be here in person. Special kavod to the Greenberg family, represented by granddaughter Naomi and partner Sam today, for endowing this Shabbat of learning. Our deepest kavod to our Clay Kodesh colleagues and to this extraordinary kehillah, this extraordinary congregation. I said to people last night, your reputation precedes you. God, I hope you know it. You should know it. You deserve to know it. Dearest Rachel, Rabbi Dr. Rachel Posner. I remember she became a doctor too. That was so cool. When you decided to pursue a career in the rabbinate, you responded with a call deep within yourself.
The call, lechi lach, go for yourself and toward yourself, to paraphrase Rashi. What was your answer? Hineni, the same as Sarah's and Abraham's response. I am here. I am ready.
Ready to serve, ready to comfort,
Ready to teach, ready to lead, to listen, to be fully present.
ready to find the words or the song at the eight ratzon, at the time when they are needed most.
And ready to be silent when there are no words and no song. For even that silence is hineni.
Long before you became a rabbi, back when we knew you as a young mom and a young therapist in Westchester, New York, God, it was hard to let go of all of you. When we knew you back then, you already knew what it meant to be fully present, to pay attention with the nochachut, the fullness and presence of your being, to embody it in your life.
You are a consummate listener, as any good psychologist needs to be. Yet you don't just listen with your mind, you listen with your heart and soul, as any good rabbi must do. You listen generously. This is what being fully present truly means, and always what it has meant to you.
There's a beloved text in our Torah. It seals this idea of hineni into our hearts without ever mentioning that word. It's not exactly from today's Parsha, Lech Lecha. I know that today is the Lech Lecha. Rather, it's in Exodus chapter 24, verse 12, in the portion Mishpatim. After Moses has heard and taught the Decalogue, and the people have promised to do it and to hear it. Naaseh v'nishma. And after he's invited the elders of Israel, Ziknei Yisrael, up to partake of a mystical meal in the divine presence. At that point, God summons Moses to ascend all by himself. God says to Moses, Ale Elai Ahara, come up to me on the mountain, Veheye Sham, and be there.
Now, Rashi says that and be there must mean that Moses is to stay there for 40 days and nights. And Ibn Ezra teaches that God means for Moses to wait there until he receives the tablets.
The great spiritual genius, Rabbi Menachem Mendel Morgenstern of Kotsk, says that and be there, Veheye Sham, actually constitutes a second, different, separate commandment, perhaps more important than the commandment to come up to me on the mountain.
The Kotzker believes that God is acknowledging the difficulty we humans have of committing ourselves to being in Hineni I am here mode to being fully present, even at moments as profound as the giving of the Torah at Sinai.
He teaches that we humans cannot help thinking of other things, other implications, other ramifications, other distractions, even while we are being given the gift of a moment of revelation or of prayer, of lovemaking, or of music, or of silence. Come up to me on the mountain, God, no problem. And be there next to impossible.
Aleilai, aleilai hara, v'yesham, v'yesham.
Come up to me on the mountain, and be there, and be there.
Dear Rabbi Rachel Posner, as the years unfold and you begin to look back on this time when you ascended the mountain, received your smicha, and returned here to serve as associate rabbi, you will be grateful for many things.
Among them will be your knowing that ever since that day of your ordination, you will have tried b'chol levavech, with all your heart, to be present.
You will have strived to fulfill the commandment, v'heyesham, and be there, even when all those other things inevitably distract you.
Now we want to offer you one more verse to take with you up the mountain and then down the mountain and then forward on your rabbinic journey. And here it is. Vani tfilati lacha Adonai et ratzon. And as for me, va'ani, my prayer is for you. Tfilati lacha Adonai. It is a beautiful verse from our ancient Psalm, Psalm 69, but reimagined and with a small grammatical tweak, whether that's permitted or not, it becomes not, as for me, my prayer is for you, but rather, I am my prayer. Va'ani tfilati.
When one serves as a rabbi or cantor, one often finds oneself praying for people, for their reaching the age of mitzvot, or a landmark birthday, for their safe journey to Israel, for their ascent to the presidency of the congregation, or for their recovery from horrible illness or a harrowing experience.
And yet, when our students and congregants do not necessarily want us to pray for them, or sing for them, or even to bless them, rather they want us to be the prayer, to embody the blessing, to be fully present with them, so that they can become their own blessing, express their own prayer. In this way, they can find the blessing inherent in themselves, their inner Torah that they were born with, as it were, their own inner prayer, their tfilati.
And what about the end of the verse? Et ratzon, at a favorable moment. It must mean, let me be my prayer at the time you, O God, request my prayer. Vani, vani tefilati lecha, Adonai et ratzon.
As for me, let me be my prayer. Let me be my prayer when the time is nigh. Let me be my prayer.
When will you need to summon yourself to be this present? And what it will feel like to summon that superhuman strength to do so?
That's the special, difficult challenge of the rabbinate. I warned you. I walked into my office, said, I want to be arrested. I'm going to warn you. It's to be wanted, needed, called upon, not on a fixed schedule, but at the time when our people, or God, or both, decide that this is the eighth Ratzon.
When you sit beside a deathbed of a congregant who goes from fear to resignation to peace and passes to the other side.
When you stand with one of your families in the freezing rain as they stare into that grave and watch their loved one go to that final place of rest.
When you hold a couple's hands under the chuppah and say the words they could only dream of hearing, that they are henceforth covenanted in kiddushin, in holy marriage.
When you look down into the eyes of a frightened bar mitzvah child, make them feel loved, respected, listened to, and dignified, as perhaps they never have before.
When you assure a new convert with dripping wet hair that they are fully accepted into the loving arms of our people's family.
When you stand before the open Aron Kodesh with your community in the darkening sanctuary at the close of Yom Kippur, as they sing with abandon, Shema Yisrael and Adonai Hu Elohim a bunch of times, hoping against hope for yet another year in the book of life.
And when you lead the same set of Shabbat prayers with the same music for the umpteenth time, for the umpteenth B'nai Mitzvah family, and you still find a way to recognize that this is that family's once-in-a-lifetime moment.
When you lead your congregants through the public square to speak out for justice, as we heard Rabbi Greenberg do a minute ago, or for Israel, or for a greener planet, or for economic sanity, for equality and opportunity, for all the prophetic hopes your ancient predecessors imparted to you through the words and music that you have poured over during your many years of study.
Whenever you represent the Jewish people to the community and to the world, and whenever you represent the Jewish people to themselves.
When countless time after time, people come to you to find the prayer within themselves and hope against hope that you, Rabbi, will be truly there for them, that you can say to them in a way that no one else in their lives can. Hineni, let us be that prayer together.
When will they call on you? At their eight ratzon, at the time when they will need you, at the time when they will want you.
When will they call on you? Day and night. Yomam v'layla. It's so nice in Hebrew. So nice in Hebrew. Because that is the eight ratzon. That is the lechi lach. That is the time we will need you, Rabbi Rachel, to be there, which is to say, to be here.
Aleilai, aleilai, v'yesham, v'yesham.
Come up to me on the mountain, and be there, and be there. Vani, vani tefilati lecha, Adonai et ratzon. As for me, let me be my prayer. Let me be my prayer when the time is nigh. Let me be my prayer. Ve'yesham, let me be there. Ve'yesham, let me be there. Come up. Come up on the mountain. Rabbi Greenberg, you'd open the Aron for us.
Please rise.
We call upon this Kihila Kadosha, this holy congregation, to take good care of you, Rabbi Rachel. Take good care of her. We need the mic. Take good care of her, even as you will take good care of your congregation. We call on them to be gracious to your family, even as your family will indeed support you, and then on your shared journey.
We call upon you to hold fast to this Torah and all it represents, to hold fast to your people, Am Yisrael, and to strive to listen to the call of the Atika Kadisha, the one more ancient than all time.
In the name of this holy congregation, Beth El Synagogue of Durham, North Carolina, Artsot Habrit, we declare you, Harav, Rachel, Carolyn, Bat, Chaim, Yosef, Esther Miriam, to be its official associate rabbi, called to serve and to bless.
We ask the Holy One of blessing upon you to protect you, to guide you, to strengthen you, and to love you, to bless you with good health, wholeness, and peace. יברכך אדוני וישמרך.
יהי רצון.
יאיר אדוני פניו אליך ויחונך.
יהי רצון.
יישא אדוני פניו אליך וישם לך שלום.
יהי רצון.
Please be seated.
Woo. It's not many times in a person's life where You have an experience of feeling seen and accepted exactly as you are. And I am really so full of gratitude. In the dramatic opening of this week's Parsha, Abraham responds to God's call, Lech Lecha. Abraham is willing to heed God's demand to leave behind all he knows, to take that leap of faith. Yet it was not that leap of faith. Yet it was not Abraham who began the journey to Canaan. At the end of last week's Parsha, we learn that it was Abraham's father, Terah, who actually set out to Canaan. But for mysterious reasons, his journey was cut short. Seen from this vantage point, even our patriarch Abraham is a link in a chain. We are, each of us, standing on the shoulders of those who came before us. And today I offer gratitude, so much gratitude, for those whose shoulders I stand on, whose love of Judaism, whose love of the Jewish people, and for the people of this congregation has nurtured us and kept our connections to our traditions both sturdy and lively. So today I'm thinking of many people, and I'll mention a few. I'm thinking of Lynn Grossman's great-grandmother, Sarah Miller, who was the president of the Beth El Ladies' Aid Society in the 1920s. This was the prototype of our sisterhood, and their meetings at that time were conducted entirely in Yiddish. I believe Lynn's grandmother or her mother was the one who instituted English meetings. I am thinking too of my grandmother, Flora, who at age 9, I think, was playing stoop ball in Brooklyn when a rabbi in a long black coat and hat and payas walked by. She stopped him and asked if he would teach her Torah. Girls did not go to Talmud Torah back in those days, but my grandmother found a way. I am thinking also of Rabbi Regina Jonas. She was the first woman ever ordained as a rabbi, and she was ordained in 1935 in Germany. She served her congregation, the prisoners of the Theresienstadt concentration camp, for 2 years until she was murdered in Auschwitz. I'm thinking also of my beloved Aunt Athene Goldstein, who is here in attendance, who is, as I said earlier, has prepared generations of kids in Rochester, New York for their bar and bat mitzvahs, and who has been a role model and loving presence for me my entire life. I am thinking of Rabbi Sager of blessed memory. There you are, I was looking for you. Who built this congregation into the spiritual, intellectual, and Hamish place that we now call home. And I am thinking of Rabbi Bronstein and Cantor Schiller, whose voices you have heard today, so you now understand how they called me in to this place and the debt that I owe to them. And I am thinking of Rabbi Graber, whose mentorship and whose partnership I am indebted to. Your Torah is so deep and your kindness and your generosity are unparalleled, except by your wife. But also your enthusiasm and your ability to see all of us, but I'll speak personally, to see me for who I am, and is just something I'm so grateful for. So I feel incredibly proud to be a link in the chain of Bethel, where as we see, Jewish life is thriving in Durham, North Carolina. I don't need to tell you how special this place is. You can feel it when you walk through the halls of the Talmud Torah, which just grew to 100 students, right? I felt it this week, especially when Shomrim did double duty, when pallbearers appeared on short notice and carried our loved ones across the threshold of the Durham Hebrew Cemetery. At Bethel, we really show up for each other. We enlighten and enliven each other's minds and hearts and soul through study. We nourish each other with food and with kindness. We hold each other up in times of need. One of the first rules of improv theater is yes and. It's the recipe for true partnership. When an improv actor enters a scene, the rule of yes and means that she must accept the premise of any other actor, any premise that they offer, and then build upon it. Our patriarch Abraham personifies this yes and orientation to the world and to his partnership with God. In a way, you might say that Abraham is the first truly religious person, in the sense that he is open to hearing that call of the divine. He is attentive to both the wonders and the brokenness of the world, and he is willing to bear responsibility for more than just himself and his immediate family. Living a Jewish life means, as Rabbi Heschel taught, being open to the wonder of creation and also refusing to accommodate the injustice of the world. The Sfat Emet said with regard to our Parsha, the angels are above nature. They can be said to stand. But the person must keep on walking. Each of us finds our own way to lech lecha, to, as Cantor Schiller said, to go to ourselves, to look inward and attend to that still small voice in each of us, and to move forward. Each of us must heed that call within, and each of us must also walk on our own 2 feet, yet we do not walk alone. Bethel, we're in it together, making this walk together. Adonai, my God and God of my ancestors, may I serve you in truth through my service to this holy congregation. Help me to stay strong yet flexible. Help me to stay open and curious. Support me to walk in your ways, to teach your Torah with true devotion. Help me to be the spiritual leader that Bethel needs me to be. Help me to know how and when to rest. Allow me to care for my family who nurtures and loves me. And may we, all of us, B'Tselem Elohim, made in the image of God, partner with you, God, to heal this fractured world. May we, this holy community, together learn ever new ways to revere you and to study your Torah in order to serve you in truth. Amen.